And we're live. So, are we all ready? Are we all pissed? Are we all got our drinks? You got your vapes? I think we better start. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Cartel. I am your host, Sloan, aka the Cloud Cartel, and with me, we've got a very special guest today. We've got Mike from Serendipity. How's it going, mate?
Good evening, matey. How are you?
Not too bad, can't complain. As Fletch is saying, it's bloody hot and I'm melting.
Yeah.
That's why I've gone for the white today. Just trying to reflect a little bit of this heat that's coming in.
Yeah, we're in an air-conditioned office, and then you come outside and it's just like...
Yeah, it is so hot. But I apologise, people in chat. I've got the back door open and I do live on the flight path. So if it gets too noisy, let me know. I have turned the mics. I've got one of those condenser mics. So they land this way. So hopefully it doesn't pick it up. But if it does, let me know and I'll shut the door and you can watch me sweat. So before we go any further, what we will do is we'll quickly run through chat. Straight off the bat, we got Pete 247. Hello, mate.
Good morning.
We have Fletch in. As he said, it's bloody hot and he's melting. We have Mr. Savage Simon in the house. Simon. We have the vaping snowman in the house.
We're going to cuddle him if it gets any hotter.
Oh, fucking tell me about it. I could do with a snowman here. I'd just sit on it. We also have Phil Curris. Now, officially, as of about 20 minutes ago, the Vape Hut and Black Rose Elixir is now a sponsor of the show. So thank you very much, Phil and Chrissy. So keep your eye on this space. We have the one and only Josh, the Vaping Jedi, in the house. Hello, mate. How's it going? We have Scott, the man with the woods, Mr. Scott Woods. Hello, mate.
Scott.
And Josh again on his way home from work. All right, so that's chat done for now. So before we get any further, what you vaping and what you drinking, mate?
Oh, right. Drinking, we'll get that out of the way. Bit of Emery Western cider, just the usual. 8.2%.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's all right. I've only got 2 lined up, so we're all right.
None of us are having pugsies today, so it's fine.
No, I never go quite that far. Main one I'm on tonight is the Aspire V-Rod 200 mod with the Dogpo Blotto Max. Get my teeth in.
Ooh.
And in that, I have my Sweet Nirvana.
Ooh.
I love it. I've got to say
it. Yeah, you don't have much choice.
No. And then the other one, I'm on the Lost Vape Cyborg with the Hell Vape Dead Rabbit 2. In that, I've got a bit of a concept juice, so can't mention too much about that, but it's really good. And then just in case they don't cut it, probably not seen this yet because we're also Aspire. I'll probably mention that a little bit later on. But this is the Aspire Vilta Pro. So the Vilta's been out probably about 8-9 months. This one is basically a separate device. So it's a little sort of refillable pod device, perfect for your 50/50s, Nick salts.
I was not expecting that.
No, and then it clicks into the little base unit, charges. You can turn the base unit off. You can run it in the base unit or you can run it without. It's great for your little 50-50 Nick salts. So I've got some Irie vibes mixed up in 50-50, and it runs sweet as a nut in that.
I like that little device.
Yeah,
It's really good.
It's
It doesn't look like it should come about. It doesn't look like it should come apart.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah, it's fully magnetic, so it charges the minute you put it in. You can turn it off so that you don't charge it, but you can use that as a power bank bit, basically. Charges by USB-C. And clips together, charges away, tells you what you've got left in there, and away you go.
Hey,
if it's on your desk, you can charge it on that end as well.
No, I really like that.
Yeah, so they'll be coming through. I don't know, this year. We never get specific dates, so sometime this year.
Whenever I give a date, I never stick to it. It never sticks.
Aspire never give us full sort of release dates. They give us loads of teaser stuff, and then it's a mad rush within about 4 days to go. You've got to release it now. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much me.
Okay, well, mine's short and sweet as well. Well, mine normally is. So I've got the series unregulated with the Axial Pro, and inside that, I'm loving this Vanilla Sky.
Hey, excellent.
Really good. I really like this. I done something weird with this liquid. It's not very. That sounds odd. But what I'll talk about it afterwards because it's
okay.
I've also got I always hold it weird. This is the Ripsaw on the side-by-side fire with there's some new coils in there. And inside that, I have some Sweet Nirvana.
Excellent.
Which is banging. And lastly, I've got my work mech. I know it's really bad. And someone at work, this is what I can't believe. I left it on the desk for a couple of hours, come back, and someone has decided to put a smiley face on it. And I've been using it all last night, and it wasn't until I turned the camera on to the stream and I took a puff and I was like, there's a fucking smiley face on it. But yeah. So I've got
it suits it actually. It doesn't look off.
Yeah. This is the Apocalypse 25 on the heavy hitter, and inside there we have some Faust by Black Rose Elixir. And drinking wise, just a lot of ice cold water. This hot weather doesn't do well when you're fat, so I'm struggling a little bit. But about this Vanilla Sky, I do mainly my desserts in series mix because I like the warmness.
Yeah.
You get a lot of heat from it. But I decided to put it in a ether bridge. And I know it's an 80-20 liquid. So I literally thinned the cotton out to the point of it falling apart. It took me ages to do it. Just got it in there and running it at 18 watts. It's outstanding.
Cool.
And the marshmallow and the maple come through a lot more.
Yeah.
It's really weird because obviously it's an 80-20.
Yes.
It's hard to run it in an MTL setup.
Yeah.
But literally, I put the cotton in and I pulled half of the cotton out and I proper raked it out. Just literally, if I would have sneezed, the whole thing would have disintegrated. But it's wicking like a dream. And like this is outstanding. But it's a completely different flavor profile.
Yeah.
It's really weird because on the series, I do get the bourbon vanilla custard like heavily and a little bit of sweet maple at the back.
Yeah.
On the MTL, like low wattage, I get it the opposite way.
You get the reverse.
Yeah.
Really
weird. And I've never been able to get an 80-20 liquid to work in that small chamber, or even any custards to work quite well. But that was spot on. So I've been using that in the ether bridge for like 2 days now, solidly.
Brilliant.
And I've we're here, and all that is in the ether.
Running that one.
I've just put some in the mech, and it tastes amazing as well. So
amazing,
great flavor. I love it. I don't want to go too much into it because I done a video for you.
Oh right, okay.
That will be going up tomorrow morning. It was meant to go up yesterday, but old Dickens here decided to put the wrong date in for scheduling. So, that would do. So that's Thursday. No, it's Saturday. Yeah.
That's
So
fine.
yeah, tomorrow keep an eye out. Midday tomorrow, it will be flying up on YouTube. You get to see my ugly mug again, where we
Brilliant.
go through all the liquids.
I
But
should keep my eyes out on that one.
yeah, but there's no bad flavors. There's some that aren't in my profile,
Yeah,
but they are what they say on the tin. So they're a good liquid, if that makes sense. So if someone goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I like this," I'll
Yeah.
go for this one. But there's no liquids that I've just got. There's some liquids you taste like, oh.
But I suppose the main thing that I really wanted to do was spread the sort of demographic. Yes, you've got more sort of, I suppose, the desserty side with the sort of the apple pie one, the vanilla custard, the rum and raisin ice cream, and obviously the sweet Nirvana one, the lemon sherbet. That's a little bit more on the sort of fruity side. But I wanted to try and make them at least one suit somebody, rather than try and win with all. Is if somebody says, "Oh yeah, I've baked apple pies for God knows how long. Try this one." Yeah, that's absolutely banging, brilliant. And to me, that was it. So to try and get those little nuances between the sort of four, slightly more heavily dessert, but I'm a dessert vapor myself. I went through the whole vanilla custards and all of the sort of the baked pastries and the danishes and all of that. I can't do menthol to save my life. I'm such a girl when it comes to menthol. I've only got to smell a polo mint from 100 yards. There's an hole in the back of my neck, and I'm like that. I can't do it. But I know there's menthol people out there, and they it's like they even add menthol mix shots to a flavour that isn't a menthol based flavour. So that's why the couple of those ones have got that slight element. But it's only that slight element of cooling in it, just to give the sensation rather than the freezing chill.
See,
I like. So I can do sweet Nirvana, which like I say, I can't sniff a polo mint from 100 yards without breathing like an asthmatic.
Yeah, it's weird because I was talking to Phil about this. Like the UK liquid market, this is my personal opinion.
Yep.
It's so flooded with liquids. There's so many liquids out there, and a lot of them are the same. It's getting, say, like, what's the most typical liquid? Strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
If I said to you, go online and buy every strawberry cheesecake, you're buying hundreds of bottles.
Yeah.
And they all pretty much taste the same. You've got to get into that niche of like the bespoke side of it, adding something a bit extra for it to stand out. And I think that's what it is. I find very much in the liquid market. But to get that, you need to be seen, and you need to have a decent logo, like your ones and Black Rose Elixir logos and Nevins's one. They're very, very they're a mature branding. They're not like you go down and see.
They're not comic book.
Yeah, or you get like minions on the front of them or some shit like that.
Exactly.
So I think that's why it very much tailors for like on the hobbyist side of it anyway, and for like the mature, not the people in their 20s.
They're grown up. That's the whole thing. I mean, Phil and Christy will sort of say I've worked with them on their Black Rose project.
Yeah.
Through the whole sort of concept design, the flavour profiles. We took their images that they'd got for their sort of storyboards and created a logo side. And that was exactly what they wanted, that bespoke, very niche brand that wasn't that. And I looked at the same thing, and I was going along slightly more sort of plain, but enough simple, stylish, an element of slightly champagne loungy look to them.
Yeah.
That sort of high-end gin bottle type.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Rather than literally just loads of colour, loads of graffiti and stuff like that. Because there's far too many of them out there that are literally all the same.
Yeah,
Different label, same juice.
Or you get like the ones that have like the anime characters on stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I can understand why you do it. It's marketing at the end of the day. You got to market.
Of course it is.
But
You've got to go with what's on trend.
Yeah, but
if that's on trend,
but
how long are they around for?
Yeah, about a year or two, and they'll be on like the £5 bargain bins by the end of it. And I think what's good about yours and Black Rose's liquids is that it's not in with the trend. It's standalone. It's never going to look old.
Yeah,
which is good. And what I did like, my wife does not vape at all, and I know she's watching this, so hello. She doesn't vape, but she smells every liquid. And she'll go, you'll like that. And she'll be able to pick every flavour out. And I was surprised that she could pick everything out of an 80-20.
Yeah.
Because when I saw it was 80-20, I was like, because my sinuses are shot to shit. And I find it very hard to pick up flavours.
Yes.
It has to punch me in the throat or I'm not going to be able to taste it. But I managed to be able to pick up every flavour in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was a big shock to me. I was like, oh God, I'm going to struggle with this. I'll be like, I think I can taste vanilla. You know what I mean? But literally, seriously, I was like, shit, yeah, I can taste it.
Yeah.
And it's very rare to see an 80-20 liquid on the market.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Whitlicker. That's who I work for. I am, Boulevard, Carnival, Contra, Deja, Voodoo, and all of them. They are all 80-20 e-liquids. And that came really about when we first sort of launched sort of 2015 Vape Fest Ireland. Literally went over on the ferry, turned up at stupid o'clock in the morning with just the stock and some ammo crates and a bit of a stand, set it up. But the whole look and design about it was the sort of boutique, slightly LA styling American juices that were flooding the market back then, and they were high end. They were thick. They were in glass bottles. You got a dripper in them.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that was the look, and we've always stuck by that because that was how the brand sort of came up. When we got into the other ranges that we were doing, Phil and Chris's, and mine, and the other ones that we're working on as well, we've always said, well, do we do the 70-30 market? Do we do the 60-40? But I think we know that the way that we blend and mix our concentrates and the quality of everything that goes into it, even at 80-20, you're going to get an absolutely punching, banging flavour. That even then, if we did drop it down, because obviously your VG is the cloud producing bit, your PG is the bit that carries your sort of flavour bit. The lower that, in theory, you've either got to up your concentrates, or you've got to lower increase your PG.
Yeah.
But we know the flavors that we use, we know the concentrates that we use, and they're not single concentrates. They are literally bespokely. We'll have a bit of that and a drop of that, and we'll blend it in a way that you get that punchy flavor, even at that sort of 80-20, ratio, and it works.
It does. It works. I can taste everything, and I was really surprised.
Yeah,
because I've got to go. I was blown away when you said I'll send you some samples, and I was thinking like little 10ml bottles, and I was like, I'm well happy with that. Just want to try them, and then this thing turns up, and I was like, fuck, I didn't ask for 100 of them, and then they're 100ml bottles in them, and the presentation is fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
And even my wife's like, oh, let me take some pictures. So I will put my hands up. The pictures on my Instagram was my wife going all silly.
They're great.
And she whisked them all away while I was at work. She was, you can't take them to work. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I can't vape them yet. So at that point, I never even tasted them because I wasn't allowed to open them. So we've got all like the photo stuff because my wife does book reviews and stuff. So she does all the photos now. So let me have a go. So those pictures were the wives, but fucking great. I can't fault anything of it. Before we go into the next question, because this is the only question that I prepared. I'm going to quickly catch up with chat because it's been going mental. So who else have we got in? We had Cal's Irons in. Hello, mate. We have who else? You're all just chatting amongst yourselves, so don't forget to pick up Serendipity and Black Rose Elixirs from Wit Liquor. So make sure you hit that.
Or Phil at the Vape Hut.
Or go to the Vape Hut Malden. We got Mallory Gates in. How's it going?
Hey.
Savage Simon saying Ira vibes 100%.
That was the Marmite one.
Is that the if you like it, you like it? Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
Des Turner's in. Hello, mate. I think we're all. Oh, and Phil's saying Wick Liquor equals quality. Simple as that. And he loves Sweet Nirvana.
He does.
Best lemonade he's ever had. And before we carry on, we got Vapor Queen Becky. Hello. And then we got Free Rider Vapor. Hello, mate.
Evening.
I got a question. It's only because this is through personal experience.
Okay.
I thought originally that mixing liquid was easy. So this is why I take your note. I bought a load of concentrates that I thought I'd like.
Yeah.
And then me and the missus sat as, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of that. Steeped it. It smelled like moldy forest and it tasted exactly the same. It was fucking horrendous. I've tried it 4 times and have failed every time. And I've even tried following recipes and I can't do it. When you got into liquid making, did you DIY yourself?
No.
No, you've never been a DIYer?
No.
So how did you get into the world of liquid creating?
I suppose it was literally when I joined because I joined. They'd launched in sort of 2015. My other half, she was working for the company, and she was there for all the original sort of launch and that. I got made redundant. Ash, the director, said, "I need you coming to work for me," because I'd done sort of sales and stuff before and all of that. So I literally joined as, I suppose, like the sort of wholesale sales account manager side, and everything around the company then was obviously Wit Liquor. It was taking off. We've got the lab downstairs, we've got the mix guys downstairs, and I just threw myself into just watching. You know, if I'm at the point where I'm ringing somebody and saying, "We've got this range of liquids, they're absolutely fantastic," I need to know everything from here to here. I can't just go, "I've got a bottle of liquid, mate, it tastes really good, do you want it?" I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have to enthuse about something. Because people will ask questions. People say, "Well, what's in it? What's the ratio? You know, is there more percentage?" If you're saying it's a strawberry orange, what am I going to get more strawberry? Am I going to go? I needed to know, so I just delved deep into it and just watched guys. And then obviously through a few things that we've done in flavour developments for other sort of projects that we've done, we've sort of we've got involved with the actual concentrate guys, and we've gone to the sort of molecular level concentrates and watching them mix and blend and saying, right, well, if you add this and you do that, that will work, but if you do this and that, it doesn't work. And it's almost like, you know, if you look at like a sort of paint wheel, you've got all of the colours, you've got opposites, you've got contrast, you've got complements.
Yeah.
It's the same thing generally with the sort of flavour concentrates, that some concentrates will work beautifully together. Some will really, really complement each other, and some will have complete polar opposites and give you that. So what you suddenly think, oh yeah, you know, I want that flavour and that flavour, bang it in 50-50, mix it. They're going to fight against each other at that sort of slightly molecular level.
Yeah,
so you may find initially you think, it's coming along, it's not doing too bad. You stick the concentrate to one side to sit and steep before you mix it. You go back to it, and it's funked or it's separated. It's gone like oil and water. You can have those sorts of effects.
Okay.
So that sort of side, because my previous history was sort of chemical industry based as well. That's the bit that really sort of floated me noodle. That I was thinking, well, I can sort of relate to what I did back then in this industry as well. And it's hard sometimes to even get some of the very, very simple flavors to even work together. They sound good on paper, but they just don't work. You can get close.
Yeah.
You just, yeah.
Yeah, I tried a Dripper Labs one because I done a show with Nick from Dripper Labs, and it was like, look, I know you can't mix, because I was laughing with him about it. It was like, I bet you can make you some good liquids. One was good, and then the other one, I was like, see, I like really random shit. Like, I love cucumber liquids.
Yes. Yeah.
And like dragon fruits. I love all the weird star fruit, mangosteens, and all stuff like that. So we made a liquid. He was like, I'm not sure about that. I was like, I bet you it will come out tasting like a fancy lilt. We got it, and it tastes like posh toothpaste. And it just didn't work.
No.
But on paper, it sounded like fucking amazing. You think, oh, that's going to taste amazing.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. I still vaped a whole lot of it, but it was like going into like Mayfair to like a bespoke toothpaste maker, and you're like, well, very posh. But it was just all toothpaste. But apparently it's because some of the concentrates I put in didn't work well together, like wintergreen and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't work well with something else that was a bit like cold, and it just took over fucking everything.
Yeah, they can literally have that complete polar opposite of working against each other and constantly fighting to blend and mix. And others, you can put them in the same room and they go, I love you.
Yeah.
And they just work. And I think that's where a lot of the mass market side ones are all samey, because somebody's come up with one that works, and then everybody has their concentrates and puts their own labels on it, and it goes.
But it's
out.
a safe market, really, isn't it?
Exactly. There's no.
You're always going to get a watermelon.
They taste good.
Ice.
Yeah, they taste good. They're okay, but there's none of this within it. There's none of that.
Yeah,
and that's.
We used to call them the old white label liquids, because my first vape shop used to get them. It used to have the nice range, which are like the £15 bottles. But he had a range called the bolt-ons, which were 50 mils, which were £4 each. Yeah. And he'll go, these liquids are exactly the same, but they've been bought by these companies and they've just slapped their labels on it and they've sold it. But some people like that.
Yeah,
which is great. It tailors for everyone's market. But I've had some liquids. It's like, oh, I bought one and it was a deep fried Twinkie with strawberry cream, and I literally, like, it made me gag so bad. It was the worst £4 I ever spent.
I didn't quite go that far once, but I think back in, I started vaping probably 10-ish, 11-ish years ago or something like that. Way before the sort of expos and that, way before the vape fests in Shrewsbury when they were on. We had, because I live in Tamworth in the Midlands. We had a little what we call a Midlands vape meet. And one of the guys that was there was Decadent Vapors. They were the guys that did all the concentrates and everything. People were like, if you want to get your concentrates, you get it from Decadent Vapors. They were on the scene. And they've got a range of all of their concentrates on a table, and for free they would mix you up 5 ml samples, so you could stick it in your Bogue Cartomizer or your CE4 or whatever you have to be vaping on at the time, because that was probably about as much as the technology had got to with vaping. And they've got one that was smoky bacon, and I suppose being an element of vaping virgin, I thought, well, I wonder what that's going to be like. And I unscrewed the top and went, and it was like smelling, I can't even describe it, but I nearly cleared their whole table with sick. And No. Why would you want to do a smoky bacon?
See, I had a thing a couple of years ago when I first got into vaping. I used to watch every review, every video under the sun, and it was what was the company? Example Box done the. I don't know if you remember that they done the worst flavors, and they had like shrimp, blue cheese,
Yeah.
and pizza and that, and they were testing them. But I don't see that nowadays, and I think that's a market someone's missed. Having it as like a joke box for Christmas. Just sell it at Christmas to like 30 quid. You get a box of unlabeled ones, and if you can get through them, you get 10% off. Like
April the 1st flavors.
yeah, and I was thinking, I'd love to see that side of vaping come back a little bit, like the joke side of it, and because I find it very safe at the moment when it comes to like the liquids. There's not very many. Like I know people take the piss out of me for liking cucumber, but my all-time favorite liquid is cucumber cantaloupe by a company called Bloom.
Yeah,
and it was that's so weird liquids. Like, it's not that weird, but because the market is so, what's the word, vanilla, I suppose you can call it. It's very simple. That anything outside of that, nobody wants to try now. But taking it back 5 years, anything different, everyone would be on it.
Yeah. You can. I mean, you can with all the flavors that are out there, and I applaud the guys like Bugs and Nevins and those guys that are DIY. They've got it locked down. They know their shit. They know how to mix it, blend it, and come out with those flavors. And they're coming out with some of the flavors that I'm thinking, well, why aren't the other guys, the bigger guys in the industry, putting those sorts of flavors out? Because they will do well. We are in that vanilla phase.
Yeah. Everyone's in the safe zone.
Yeah, and these flavors, they cut through. They actually stick their hand up above the water and go, mate. So I applaud that guys like that, and I know that they're starting to get into their sort of slightly more commercial side and stuff like that. But there's a lot of the bigger companies that are literally just taking the easy route of, well, that's what's selling for them, and that's what's selling for them. So we'll stick our label on it, and we'll sell the same.
Yeah, or we'll just increase the coolarder in it or something.
Yeah, we'll put a bit more coolant in it. We'll up the concentrate level to make it a bit more punchy than theirs, because they're at 20%, but we'll put 25 or 30 in or whatever. Yeah. And it is. It's a very, very saturated market with a very limited range of ideas, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's why I really like the expo this year anyway, because when I went, Phil dragged me around the 4 only liquid stands that were like any good. There was, and they had like the Swedish ones that had like cloudberries, and they brought their own native flavors and tastes to the UK and was like, try this. But hardly anyone was really going there. When I went there, I was the only one there.
Yeah.
And people are just like walking past disposables, or they go to like other companies that are like, and you think, hang on, I tried them. They're all fucking outstanding, all very different. Everyone you taste, you go, oh, do I like that? Oh, that's actually really nice. And I think that's the one reason why I like the UK being sort of like on that pillar in the vaping world, where we basically try. The government is saying to everyone, you need to fucking vape, not smoke. We're promoting it. So
they are. They're definitely pushing it.
So we're at that stage now where we sort of own the market. And I think it's great that I hope it carries on, that we're seeing more native flavors from around the world come to the UK so we can experience these amazing different flavors. I never even heard of a fucking cloudberry. I was like, what the hell is that? Pulled up a picture. It's an underground berry. I was like, didn't even know that exists. But it's only native in one little mountain in the middle of Sweden somewhere that I haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well, if I never tried that liquid, I would have never even known that existed.
Yeah. We always get asked about Boulevard, because it's like Loganberry pulp, and they're like, what's a Loganberry?
Yeah.
It's a thing. It is actually a thing. Go research it. It's a Loganberry, and it is those. There's a lot of things that people can do, and there's a lot of people that I think if they took the blinkers off and stopped thinking, this is what's selling, so I need to do this. Just put your foot on the brake a minute and think outside the box.
Yeah.
Think of something new. Think of the next step. Think of the next thing after this wave of disposable, samey flavor stuff that's going out.
It's going to end very soon.
Yeah. There's only so long that you can vape a blue raz, or you can vape a, like you say, a mango ice or whatever, or there's only so long that you will. Your palate naturally wants to change, and it naturally wants to experience new flavors. And I suppose that was one of the elements of mine, is I knew that there were vanilla custards out there. I knew that there were lemon sherbets. I knew that there were apple pies. There wasn't a rum and raisin ice cream, so that was why I said earlier that's the Marmite one.
Yeah.
Because people would say, well, I know what an apple pie tastes like. Let's taste yours. Oh, well, I actually prefer so-and-so's apple pie, or yours is nicer than so-and-so's. They've got a comparison. They've got that memory bank of what the flavour tastes like.
Yeah.
That the rum and raisin, there isn't another one out there.
Yeah,
so that was
it's
always
the first.
going to be. It's either going to win, and people are going to go, do you know what? That's actually fucking all right, that is. Or what?
Yeah.
Touch wood, thank you. Everybody, it's doing all right.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's down to the fact that it hasn't been done before, so it's a palate cleanser, it's completely different, and your taste buds are suddenly waking up to going, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm all right with this.
It's very unique. And I think before we go any further, Paul's saying you need to make 50-50. And Phil's saying you need to make 50-50 as well. And Dave Lloyd's late. Hello, Dave.
So obviously we are currently testing 50-50.
Oh, there you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So that's actually what I've got in that little device.
I still like that. I wasn't expecting you to pull that apart.
It's a very sort of slightly gentlemanly, loungy thing, isn't it?
It looks like one you'd have with your cigar cutter and your Prosciutto lighter.
Yes, hand rolled in China. But yes, the next step is we were asked for it, I think, fairly quickly after launch in March. Are we going to be doing it in salts? Are we going to be doing it in 50-50 ranges? One of the big ethoses now that we as a company, especially with everything that's going on with compliance is going to change massively. That's not just necessarily emissions testing, certification, MHRA, that side. It's also now down to label. So the CLP label compliancy that is on pretty much every other product out there in the market. Over 18s, no pregnant ladies, list of contents, this product contains yada, 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 yada. That is coming to short fills. So the whole full label wrap with just a picture on and the flavor name and whatever you want, no manufacturer details, no nothing, no VG, PG ratios and stuff like that some companies do. It has to now literally be, there's an element of working in time, which there always is with things, but over the coming period of time, they will be looking for the compliancy on labels as well for short fills. So,
So is that like, I don't think we've got, like the ones that come down the side here, these type of things.
Yeah, that's a current CLP compliant label. In fact, Phil and Chris's, they're 10mm range. So we were literally just at the point of saying to them, we're ready to go. We've got your labels done. We've got all the mix ratios done. We're ready to bottle and send it to you. And the CLP label compliance changed.
Yeah.
So much so that we had to then revisit their 10mm labels and almost reshrink everything to fit in ingredients that contained from the chemical analysis that then the CLP said, well, if it contains that, you have to display it, and it has to be displayed on the label. So yes, you can put it in an outer box, you can put it in a secondary packaging. It's also got to be on your label as well. Now, whether that's on certain things could be on peel and reveals, so that can be on the inside.
Yeah.
But the key important things, for instance, you put it on your secondary packaging. First thing you do, you take your bottle out your box, throw your secondary packaging away. You've got a bottle.
Yeah.
If that got into the hands of anybody and something happened, and you had to take it somewhere, there's nothing on there to say what's in it and what chemical compounds. What that has to now be on the labels, and that, like I say, that's also moving to the sort of short film market as well. So we had to rejig all of Phil and Chris's 10mm labels. They are currently the most 10mm compliant labels in the UK market.
Bloody hell. Well done, Phil and Chrissy.
So if anybody happens to pick one of their 10mm up and looks at it, that is the way it's all moving.
Bloody hell. Nevins is saying, do you have to mention flavour compounds?
Do I have to mention flavour compounds?
On the bottle?
Yes. Yes, if there's a specific flavour compound within it, it's not as much as putting your recipe, splattering it all over it and giving it away, but the chemical composition side of it has to be on there. So if for some strange reason it contains diacetyl, which it shouldn't, but if it did, you'd have to list that and the percentage that the chemical analysis gave it on the 10mm label, or on the 100mm label, or on the 150mm or 50mm label. It has to be there. But again, it's one of those things that is being phased in. So there will be a period of, this is what you need to do. This is the time period that you're going to need to change it over.
There you go. He's got another one for you. So anything from an SDS has to be stated.
Pretty much. There are things that you don't have to. There's certain things. They have a list of do's and don'ts and yeses and nos. It's mainly what's in it, the chemical compound side, but it's only the harmful parts, rather than, if something isn't definitely harmful, you don't have to list it. There are juices that will have no harmfuls in, or minimum rated. Even if it's a minimum rated, it still has to be listed, unfortunately. Nevs, if you've got a 10mm bottle of Phil and Chris's, the really, really tiny small writing to the right of their logo that's on a horizontal, that is everything that we had to put on for every, and each flavour will change. So each flavour has to be specific to that flavour. It can't be a generic brand. It's all down to exact chemical compositions.
All your short fills are currently all compliant. Oh, that's what Phil's saying.
Yes. Yeah. So like I say, everything that is currently out there at the moment, but this is what is moving forwards. So again, that will be the next sort of step that will come in line. You even got to start putting warning labels on short fills. So I think the worst one is an exploding chest picture that has to be a certain size on certain flavors.
An exploding chest?
Yeah, a pictorial, you know, like the 18 symbol in a triangle.
Oh yeah.
It's similar to that. The pregnant lady with a line through.
Yeah.
Which denotes don't use nicotine if you're pregnant. It's a similar sort of thing. It's like a sort of half torso with it looks a little alien.
Okay, yeah. What's that supposed to symbolise?
Do you know what? At the moment, I don't know. We've just got a list of them.
Yeah.
And if it falls into a specific category, it has to go on.
Oh, I get it. I suppose in a way, considering all the shit that's going on around the world with vaping, it's not. We haven't got it bad considering what they're asking. It's a ball ache.
We haven't. Yeah.
If I know it will be if you're a small one-person job, like Nevins is very much it's him.
Yeah.
That he's doing it. So obviously it's more of a ball ache for someone like him. But for like your company and other companies that are that churn that liquid, it's just more. It seems like more of an inconvenience. Oh fuck, we're gonna have to sort all this out.
It's just regulating it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's bringing in the sort of slightly more in order for you. The short fill market, we all know anybody can make a short fill. They can mix it wherever they want to mix it with whatever, put it in a bottle, stick a fancy label on, stick it in a shelf, and they can sell it.
Yeah.
That's the current market. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure that those components within it have had an element of testing done to them to provide the information on the label.
I suppose it's fair enough.
Which is, which can only be a good thing in one way for some sides, and it's restrictive for others. It will see a swing in the market, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously the testing, it's obviously not free. So obviously there's going to be a monetary charge. So for smaller companies like the one person jobs, or there's 2 or 3 of you, it's obviously going to be a fair amount if you've got 7 or 8 liquids out, and then they hit you with like a $6,000 charge. I don't know how much it is, so it must be a fair amount.
Yeah, it's worth literally speaking to a compliance, a sole compliance company. We use a company called Arcus Compliance, and they do a lot of other companies' compliance. They do compliance for abroad and everything. And they're the guys that literally are finger on the pulse. They will say this, that, and the other. There's obviously other companies can be used. I'm not saying that they're the only one that you should actually contact, speak to, but they know the stuff. And jumping right back to where we started on that ramble, so apologies for that.
That's right.
That's why when we are now looking at releasing a short fill, we will also be releasing a compliant 10ml, whether that be a 50-50 freebase or a 10ml nic salt, which has already gone through the testing process. Now, obviously, the short fill can come to market quicker because you haven't got to wait for the test and the MHRA registration for the portal.
Yeah.
Your short fills can come to your freebases and your nic salts always follow after. But everything we're doing now goes in for full testing and spectral analysis and everything before we release anything.
So you've already pre got it beforehand.
Yeah.
I suppose that probably cuts down on price as well, rather than having to keep going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it does. There's still a set charge for if you submit it. It's a single submittance, so you submit it for that product at that strength. There's a charge for that. There's a charge for this. There's a charge for that. And ultimately, when you get it back, it doesn't matter what you've got. It's 150 quid to stick it on the MHRA portal.
Yeah.
So there's charges all across the board, but you're safe and secure.
Yeah.
If you want to be safe and secure.
Yeah, that's a good shout. So yeah, I suppose for compliance side of it, it's worth it. So I think Phil was saying Mike can sell his products anywhere without any concerns whatsoever, as it's fully compliant. And some depending on countries anyway. All countries have different CLP compliances. Yeah,
some change it as quick as they do. Change their underpants. It changes one week. It changes the next week. Some are very fixed and linear. The UK is pretty much the same. It's there's a set bar. As long as you're below that, you pass. You're done. You're fine. But it is all changing. But yeah, everything that we've got on the sides of the bottle, all of the individual warnings are done in different languages. So if we do export, it's covered for that country as well through all the testing and emissions and stuff as well. So
that's good. Oh, we've got a special one in chat now. We've got Mr. Mike Haynes in chat. And he's saying, I love your sweet Nirvana not being able to put it down.
You're a star, Mr. Haynes. Thank you very much indeed.
Absolute gentleman to meet in person.
Absolutely wonderful. We had a little sat in a chat, I think, in the bar at Expo, and we were having a nice little chat. And I gifted him some bottles for him to try. So thank you.
It looks like he might need some more soon. He's saying he ain't been able to put it down. I said I only got to meet him for a couple of minutes. He got dragged off elsewhere, but he was lovely.
Yeah, I bumped into him with Phil and Chrissy as we were walking around, and then They went and got changed, and we were sort of sat in the bar, and he come over and we had a natter. Absolutely stunning guy.
He's lovely. Who else we got in chat? I think everyone's just talking amongst themselves. No, he's a grumpy old fecker. Oh, but I heard you say that you work for Aspire as well.
Yeah. So the umbrella or the main company that I am is a company called ifancy1.com. That is the mothership. So that is the whole retail side of the business, the whole retail chain of shops. Underneath that umbrella is the little spin-off. So we've got Whitlicker, we've got Aspire. So that came on board through the strength that Whitlicker had. They needed an importer and distributor for the UK. We went for that. We got it. So we are the importer and distributor for Aspire in the UK. So we do wholesale, we do retail. Some people have probably recognised it for being on Aspire stands at expos for the last 4 or 5 years when we could do them.
Yeah.
So that's one sort of arm of the company. And then the other side is now the expansion of the liquid side that we're doing, which is sort of more created and designed by Whitlicker. So on like I say, on the sides of the bottles, you've got that little bit up the strip.
Do you know what? I didn't even notice that.
That's it. Yeah. So rather than putting everything into what we call the heritage brand, which is the Boulevards, the Carnivals, and Contras, that is just literally set. Everything that we move forwards with now, whether that be individual in-house productions such as mine, or another range that we bring out, they will all gradually start to fall under that created and designed by Whitlicker sort of lab logo. And we can expand as far as we want them with that. We can get people on board, do the same as we did with Phil and Christy. We can do it in-house. We can get the world is your oyster once we've got to that sort of stage. So there's quite a few little straws underneath that main sort of company umbrella.
Yeah. So you do say, like, just say for instance, if I come to you and say I want to design some liquids, you could do everything from the liquid, the bottling, the labeling, all the testing, and all that lot. It's all under that one contract type job. You'll provide everything.
Everything. Yeah. So
it's a good little setup.
You can come to us with no idea, and we can steer you into, well, what are you thinking of? What are your flavour profiles? What are your preferences? Have you thought of design? Or you can come to us with something where you say, I want to do this, and this is my concept, this is my imagery. You can bring the whole shebang to the table. We can make it happen. Or we can talk you and walk you through every single step to the point where you're actually then taking your e-liquid and putting it out to the market and selling it. So all the graphics design, the label designs, and absolutely everything, which is something that we could do many years ago, but we always seem to be under the cosh of Whitlicker was doing so well and just literally going and going and going and going. We were just busy fools concentrating on that.
Yeah.
But now we've gone, hang on a minute, we can do this as well.
Yeah, but you needed that experience for that period of time to be able to do it properly. So I suppose it was a good thing that you waited. The company waited so long to actually provide a service, which sounds like for someone, just say for instance like me, if I was like, I want to bring out a liquid that I can't mix, and I'll say to you, I really want, like, just pick a random flavour out of my head, bread pudding with raspberry cream. Just say for instance, I want that liquid and I want it to look like this. You can go, don't worry, mate, we'll sort it. And then you guys would do everything with it. And obviously there's obviously a charge to it. But would you then take a percentage out of the sales? Is that how it works? Or do you sell it all as one package?
Yeah, we can do it either one of two ways. We can do all of the footfall work and everything right up to the point where your bottle is ready for market.
Yeah.
And then we can say, in order for us to give this to you, it's this much for you to buy, and then you can sell it however you want to sell it, whether that be distro in a shop or online or whatever,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a floor price for that liquid out of the door. But
Yeah.
all of the design work and everything and the stuff up to that point, we will do free of charge, because
That's not
it's all
bad.
built into the end cost.
Yeah.
The compliance side, that is a set fee that we have to pay, you'd have to pay, or somebody else would have to pay. We don't soak that up. So, you know, if you want to do a compliant 10 mil, brilliant. But you've got to pay this much and this much and this much and this much. If you want to do a short fill, we can do everything up to the point of it's this much a bottle for you. Now it's done. Great, I'll take X amount of bottles and off you go, and you can sell it. We can do the whole lot.
That's a really good idea for people that want to bring out liquids, that have got the cash to be able to do it, but don't have the resources to do it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are other companies out there that will do exactly the same.
Yeah.
In that sort of white label, we can do white label. We could take a range of flavors that we already have. We could white label them for you with your design on. There you go. Put your name to it. Out the door, gone. Or we can bespoke that flavor for you. We can spend the time getting the concentrates mixed and sampling out backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
If you're happy with it, and then we can do the whole design process and bring it to market for you as well if you want to go bespoke. So, you know, some people don't do bespoke, they only do white label. You know, here's a catalogue. We've got 17 different flavors. You can have all of them, you can have one of them.
Yeah.
Ours is a little
really
bit more
good
extensive.
Idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been around for a little while. We knew that we could do it. But this is the side of the business now that we're putting a lot of effort into it. Hence the reason that my range came out was a conversation that we were having at that particular time, just before sort of COVID. In that the boss turned around and said, "Well, you know, there's nothing stopping you guys doing your own range. Really? You'd let us do that? Yeah, why not?" The old little grey matter went, you know, and that's where mine was born. I then happened to mention to Phil, because I've looked after Phil with his account for 4 or 5 years. We get on like house on fire. I mentioned I've got a chance to do my own range of e-liquids, mate. And he went, "Do you think we could be able to do that as well?" And I went, "Yeah, don't see any reason why not." And that's where their Black Rose was born from, through that process.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's been around. But this is the main focus now. This is where we're putting all our eggs, shall we say?
Well, because if I've got to be honest with you, I've never tried wick liquor. I've seen it, I've just never bought it. I don't. It's just something that I haven't got around to trying. But obviously, I've only ever heard good things about it. And now you've spent all those years getting it to a level where it can just keep going, and you don't have to put 110% into like the marketing, because it's already there.
Yeah.
You can now
It's
spend
grown
all
up.
your time.
It's fledged the nest. We can quite happily let it go. We've had to control it through the market, through the I hate the word underselling, but the price wars is probably a better option. 4 or 5 years ago, then we I wouldn't say fixed it, but we reined that in. So basically, what we did with that, it's easy to say it. We removed the whole distribution network. We used to distribute. It was everybody wanted it. The main distributors were then wholesaling it or retailing it. We killed every single distributor and said, "That's it. We're not doing distro. We're only wholesale." So anybody that buys wick liquor from us pays the same price, whether you are 1,000 bottles or one bottle. Obviously wholesale, which keeps a nice linear market. Then anybody wanting to resell it sells it at a slightly higher price, but they don't sell it cheaper than us. So we did that side, and then the fakes came in, the whole counterfeit side. We were not just, it wasn't sort of Bulliesburg, it was Boulevard, it was our label, it was a complete clone copy, and that literally flooded the market, and that was being sold retail at like $2.99 for a 50ml.
Shit.
Yeah, and it wasn't our flavours in it. We had nothing to do with it. It was just shit bath water, you know, maybe even stuff off the local supermarket concentrate flavour shelves from the cake aisle. It was awful.
Really?
The stuff was awful, but people bought it because we'd stopped distribution. So the minute they were offered a cheaper wick liquor, they bought it. They sold it. We were getting huge amounts of complaints going, "Oh, I've Vape Boulevard for years. This is not Boulevard. It tastes horrible. It's burnt my coil out within a day."
Bloody hell.
Shit. We did some digging. We were counterfeited. So all of the new range that we've done is a fully anti-counterfeit label, which was a massive project. There are several elements within the label that are the same as banknotes.
Oh, really?
yeah. If you pick up a genuine wick liquor bottle now, it's got a holographic seal on the back. It's got elements of holographics within the labels. It contains hidden elements that we know, if we look at it, that it's genuine, that can't be copied through normal printer inks. There's a lot of stuff within the three or four things that you can see instantly. The raised logo on the front, if you run your thumb over it, it's actually raised out of the label. So there's a few things that you can see, but there's 6 or 7 things that you can't see.
Well, I suppose on the flip side, it shows you that the company's doing well if someone's trying to knock it off.
It's one of the greatest forms of, I don't know what people call it. You know, if they don't copy Tesco juice, do they?
No.
You know, if they don't copy Tesco, not say Tesco juice, Tesco shopper bags, they copy, you know, Armani bags.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
I was about to say nobody copies a Primark shirt, but I'll do a Louis Vuitton one.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a bit of a, you know, oh well, you know, at least you've thought that the juice is good enough that you needed to counterfeit it. But we put a huge amount of effort into that. So that took up a huge 2 to 3 years. Then lockdown hit. We were still dealing with it all through that.
Bloody hell.
But we've sort of come out the other end now and gone, do you know what? Now we've got a stable market for it. Let's expand where we needed to expand 2, 3, sort of 4 years ago, and really push into the bespoke side of anybody can pretty much come to us that wants to do it, and we'll be happy to do it.
Yeah. So would you consider going down like the hardware route, like designing hardware? Because obviously you've got the liquid side down. Is your company looking to sort of do like a whole like say like a wick liquor starter pack, like a wick liquor mod RDA or sub-ohm tank liquids coils?
No. We're 100% liquids all the way through. We wouldn't want to put. If somebody says I'm happy to put a logo on a so and so, you know, we might look at it as a bit of advertising stuff, but we wouldn't want to get involved in bespokely making a wick liquor mod, or a wick liquor tank, because there's too many of them out there. You know, you do that bit, we'll do this bit. You know,
you should try and get some like wick liquor hexomes and get like your logos etched on the side, sell them off a limited edition. Loads of companies are doing it.
Yeah, we've had people, you know, I'd love to put your logo on this, that, and the other, but it's just we don't want to diversify that much, and we just want to be known for the liquid side rather than, oh, you know, they're on this. We don't want to be like shit on a shoe. It's all over the shop.
Yeah. Mike saying,
keep yourself that little niche bit.
Mike saying, how about appealing to the high-end vapors in Middle East? Would that work?
Would that be in the juice side of the market?
Yeah.
I take it that's the side. That is again another step that we are currently in the process of looking at.
There's a lot of money, and they love their vape stuff out there.
yeah, the rest of the world side, we've got a couple of meetings penciled in for the next sort of couple of weeks with some guys that's the avenue that we're looking at pursuing as well. The rest of the world, global domination for the UK, now the rest of the world.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Because because looking at like the bottles and the liquids that are in them, you're pretty much hitting the market out there anyway. It is
Hopefully, I mean they might need some tweaks and stuff. I just don't know what they're for. For instance, with Wick Liquor, we supply a company in Libya, so there's a big distributor out in Libya, and they cover that sort of North African continent area. We bespoke specific things for them. So we do like 30 milligram nick shots in 50 ml bottles, bespoke label. It's purely for export because we can do it for their country.
Yeah.
We might have to do the same thing for various other places to fall in line again with their compliancy, with their requirements. But we're more than happy to do whatever. If you've got to jump through a hoop to do it, do it.
Yeah. So I think some of their profiles would be quite good in the liquid. Like I'd say, like I haven't seen one with dates in it, like a date liquid, because I love dates. Or like a baklava or something. I reckon could be quite.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could be a coil killer though.
Possibly. We have a baklava flavour, but it's in a different range.
Oh, okay. I might have to have a look at that.
I'll send you some.
Or do you know, I'd love to taste that. But the one that I really want to try, and I've never been able to get hold of, is an Indonesian liquid called Supwa. It's a iced mung bean.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Because the only reason I know it is Grim Green done it about 2-3 years ago. Kent sent him a bottle from Indonesia, and it's because mung bean is like their go-to out there. They have so many mung bean liquids, but it's an iced one. It was like it tastes like dirt, but it's really nice. It tastes a bit like a green bean, and I love green beans. And I've been trying to find a bottle, and I haven't been able to find a bottle.
It just sounds bizarre.
Yeah, I really want to try it.
Yeah.
But there is a liquid that I know they don't make it no more. It's called Unsacred. And the liquid's called Root. You used to be able to get it in Kentucky. It's in a glass bottle, and it tastes like a root of a plant that they get. You can only get over there.
Yes.
And apparently, it's one it's like Marmot. You either like it or hate it. But apparently, 99% of people think it's fucking disgusting. It's like licking dirt. But I really want to try it because I want to know if I like it. It's going to be a really unique flavor.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to find that one either. So I'm up for trying anything a bit out of there.
I think you've got to. I mean, my old dad always said, everybody's got to eat a bit of dirt before they die.
Oh,
you've got to try it.
Yeah, I try anything. There's nothing I don't really try.
I'm happy to try everything. Definitely.
Yeah. But if you can do a mung bean, you won't sell any.
I'll do a bit of research, before I even mention it. Yeah, I don't want to jeopardise my career.
Yeah.
You've got to do this. You've got to do this. Plough everything into mung bean.
Yeah. Nobody buys it.
Have we done today? No bottle sold.
There's only one.
Have we done today? No bottle sold. Oh, somebody's put one in their basket. Yeah. Oh no, they've changed it for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I do think for a UK market, we need to somehow. There needs to be someone that goes around the world to all these countries and just gets the unique liquids and puts it on a site everyone can buy in even 10 or 30 ml bottles. Just to try.
I think they would be very demographic. Like you say, if that's their demographic of taste and flavour, it would do well in that area. I'm not saying that, if we suddenly got approached by some Saudi people or whatever, and they said yes, but if we're going to have you, we need a specific flavour that needs to be this, Camel's Hump and whatever else. we'd have a bloody good go at it. Because if that's what they want and they're going to pay for it, you've got to think to yourself, you know,
see,
got to dip your toe.
This is why I don't own a vape shop, because I'd have a load of random shit that nobody want to buy. Oh,
Loads of flash sales.
Simon's saying Sir Strumming's like, to be honest, I would do better than TVP did, and I don't like fish.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't mind a battered bit of fish from the chip shop, but I was gipping. I had to watch it on the Sunday. We went out on a stag do on the Saturday night. I couldn't watch it live, and I caught up with it on Sunday, and I was just sat there going,
"Yeah." Me and the missus and the little one was sitting on the sofa. We watched it on the big screen, and it was that's I love punish people getting punished, stupid things. I've done the Sprite challenge on one of my other shows live at 1:30, 2 in the morning. It was horrendous. Though it ain't going to be that bad.
I like to watch people do it. I'm not a girl in things like that. I'd have a go, but I'd like to watch somebody do it first.
Yeah. Well, I was always told, my mum always said, you're very much no sense, no feeling. So I'll give most things a go. Oh, everyone's saying
you'll run out.
Yeah. Punish Pugsy. We got Punish Simon. No, but
do you know what? I'd be happy to see anybody do a challenge, because raising that amount of money for that charity just for doing that,
mate, done $1,000.
It was outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
I was really impressed, and within a week.
Yeah, it was mentioned on the Saturday night. Oh, what happens if we do this? Bit of a laugh, bit of a joke. Deadly serious. We're going to do it. Here's a just giving page. $1,000 went on it, and he did it. Top job, top man.
I did come up with another punish TVP, but I think mine's a bit too savage. I said he needs to drink a bottle of laxatives and see if he can sit through the whole show without shitting himself. I thought that would have been a good one, but I don't think that's going to happen.
A couple of hours beforehand, you know.
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Get that down, yeah.
I thought it'd be a good one. Oh, God.
He'd probably be doing a lot of that like he did on that.
A little bit of a chicken dance. Oh, I think I've just dropped myself in it. Nev says, when you're a guest again, Mike, we'll get... Oh, no, it's for you, not me. It's you. For you to do some.
Honestly, there would just be that, and the whole screen would just start to. Yeah, I couldn't. Maybe something else. I'm not averse to maybe trying something else, but not that.
I can just about do prawns. I can't be in the same room as someone eats tuna. That makes me gag.
Yeah,
and I can't do salmon. I can't do any fish really. So
I'm not at this moment in time. Knowing what these guys down here are starting to type, I'm not saying anything. You know, I can't stand that. They're like that.
It will turn up at your door.
It will, yeah. Oh, next week you're on there. You're doing this. Yeah.
I've already put $1,000 down again.
I love everything. And I hate everything as well.
There's a lot of sick faces in chat at the moment. Oh dear.
But yeah, top job. Well done, TVP, for that. That was amazing.
Yeah, done really well. But as we're talking about that, what we'll do is make sure tomorrow that you check out the Simon Saturday show. This week they have special guest of... Who is that? Not Another Vape Channel, I think that guy is. So that is the next show of Simon's Saturday show. So make sure 8:30 tomorrow you get those fingers ready and get him to do some more. But as we're doing this as well, I might as well take a quick 2-minute break and just say thank you to my sponsors, which is which way is my finger coming? This way. The Vape Hut in Malden. I hate these mirrored screen. Black Rose Elixir, and also as a sponsor we have Shake and Bake Media. So while I have a quick sip of water, watch this ad break. That is Shake and Bake Media for all your multimedia needs. Head over to www.shakeandbakemedia.com or follow him on Instagram. I am _ Anthony Ramella. He's an absolute amazing guy. He does everything from my intro to Green Room. He does Fallout Fridays. He does Mixing It Up show. He does all the intros. He's done the logos for Vaping Jedi and Angela Goes First. So anything you need, head over to shakeandbakemedia.com. Thank you. I just managed to down all that water, so that helped me out. What have we missed in chat? Everyone's just talking amongst themselves again.
Yeah, I'm interested with Nevins and sweet corn. Right, okay.
I do love sweet corn. I'll eat it out of the tin.
Yeah, I'm quite partial to a bit of sweet corn.
See, the missus
This
hates
way,
me making
not
pizza.
that way.
Yeah. Because we start doing homemade pizzas, because I can't eat normal pizzas because it gives me dodgy guts. So we make our own. And literally, I'll just get the whole tin and just pour it over the top. And my missus ain't really too keen on sweet corn.
Yeah. Have you done a stuffed crust homemade one yet?
No, I don't. My pizzas aren't normal.
No, that's fine. But your base is obviously genuinely the same, isn't it? Do you use like a bread base?
No, I use puff pastry.
Mix it and make it yourself.
I roll out puff pastry because it's quicker. A load of tomato puree, chilies.
Same thing. Just leave a little bit of an extra bit before you sauce.
Yeah.
And cheese strings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just get some cheese strings, cut them in half so they're sort of, flat on one side and round on the other, and just literally lay them around the crust. Fold the crust over, just bake it as normal, and it just melts like a cheese crust.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do that next time. Yeah, my pizza is generally just cheese and chili. I don't really do meat on pizza.
I'm a pure pizza fiend. I got thrown out of deep pan pizza once in, God, where was it now? I think it was Merry Hill, Birmingham way. They were doing a $4.99 eat all you can, like lunch. And I got thrown out after 4.5 hours because I hadn't. Manager just says, "I need you to leave now." I'm like, "But I'm not eating all that I can," which is what it says there. I was getting into the 20, 21, 22 stone bracket back then.
Yeah,
I could pile them away, but I've got a pizza belly. Doesn't matter. I can eat a large pizza, and then I'm looking at everybody else who's going, "You're never going to finish all that."
I'll have that later.
I'll have that. Either then or later.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I do like a pizza, but it doesn't sit well with me. Not well in the guts. But give me curry, I'll eat curry all day.
Yeah, I like specific ones. I'm not a mad curry fan. I'm not a massive. No, I'm saying to chat. I love chilies. I hate chilies. I love chilies. Just in case they've got any ideas going on over there.
You can't watch yourself now.
But yeah, there are certain things, I suppose, that if you put on them, you just go.
My mate
What's the pineapple thing?
I don't know. I don't look what they call it. Hawaiian, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. You save it to the end and maybe have it for afterwards, but not at the same time. Put it on a
cocktail stick with a little sausage.
Yeah. We have a pizza place up here that doesn't use tomato. Its base is keema meat. So, like inside your keema on. They put that on the top of the pizza and then put like cheese and then chilies and stuff on top, but there's no tomato in it. It's fucking amazing.
Wow. See, my ethos is there's only one topping for a pizza.
More cheese.
Another pizza.
Don't they? What's the word for a pizza on a pizza? Isn't that a calzone or whatever they call it?
That's just one pizza folded. I'm talking Pizza.
And then flap another one on top.
Yeah. I've actually had, you know, the little Dr. Oetker ones, the little sort of biscuity based ones,
Oh,
pizza
yeah.
follow and fungi and whatever. I've had one of them, then with like hash browns and brie and another pizza on top, sandwich cut in half.
Bloody hell, you're a bit of a fiend for your pizza.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you dropped yourself in there.
No, I hate pizzas.
You're going to get like 6 large pizzas turn up at your door. You know that. On the night that you're on.
No more, brie.
Yeah. You got to be careful now because you don't know.
I know.
That's the problem because they've got your address now.
I'm moving. There's nobody said.
You know
the car. Pack the car.
So what Mike's saying now? Just home about an hour ago and off again on Monday down to London. Bloody hell, you don't stop, mate. He's everywhere.
Like a travelling Wilbury.
Well, you just have to get you one of those motorhomes. You just live stream from the motorhome.
Hainesmobile.
Yeah. It'd be like one of those travelling shows that you see on like a BBC Travel Channel. It's Mike on his travels. So I've got a weird question. Well, it's not a weird question, but
okay, yeah.
When was the last time you actually went into a vape shop?
Oh, discounting our own.
You're discounting your own.
Right. Okay. God, that is a hard one. 3 years. 3 years.
3
ago.
years.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I was having this conversation with Mike. Not Mike. You're Mike. Phil.
Yeah.
And I was talking about, I want to open a vape shop and all this stuff. And he was like, when was the last time you've been in the vape shop? I was like,
yeah. Oh, we've gone. No. His computer's blown up. Has your computer
it's fine.
blown up again?
No, I stupidly stood on the lead.
Right.
So that was my bad. I told you there's always.
I paused with you.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. The only reason I was asking is because I was always moaning about pricing. It was like, I just get everything online. And it was like, that's the problem with the vape industry. When was the last time you went into a vape shop? So I try and make it my thing. Wherever I go, I look for a vape shop and I try and buy at least one thing from it.
Yeah.
Just even like a bottle of liquid or like cotton, you make no money on cotton.
No.
At all. But liquid, I would always try and go and buy a random bottle. Even if I don't vape it, I've got a drawer for the liquid I haven't vaped.
I think the thing is with definitely with a bricks and mortar shop, somewhere where it's physical, it's real. You can go in. I think obviously COVID kicked us in the teeth with things like taster bars and stuff like that. Some are bringing it back now, which is great. But actually physically going into a store and speaking to somebody and looking at the ranges that they have, you can touch it, feel it, they'll explain it. You know, if they're good enough, they'll talk you through the whole shebang. Rather than that looks okay, price is okay, yeah, I'll buy it. Where's it coming from? Is it coming from a fulfillment center? Is it coming from them?
Yeah.
You know, is it that company that you're actually showing there that is sending it you, or because they actually haven't got stock, does it default to somebody else that has it in stock that sends it?
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, your physical vape shop is definitely the place to go. But I can see that the whole thing with the convenience of shopping online has come about a huge amount more since COVID.
Yeah,
that we all sat behind the screen I sat at home for two and a bit odd years, working from home in my chair, and only literally seeing the world through this.
Yeah, and the fact that you could be in your car at work having a shit, and you can buy like four bottles of liquid for 25 quid, free delivery next day.
Yeah,
then going
and
down your vape shop.
they're always going to be able to do it cheaper, because if they are purely online, they don't have the bricks and mortar overheads, the rates, the business rates, the staff members, the staff wages, pay as you were. They don't have that. They just have a computer program and a system and a stock.
That's it.
That they're happy then to make that 50, 60 pence on an item, rather than the shop owner having to put the decent amount of margin on it to break even sometimes. So yeah, please support your local vape shop.
I've just read a comment. Did you know Mike met the Pope?
Mike Haynes.
Just to throw out, when I was in Rome meeting the Pope, fucking, he knows everybody.
His name dropping.
He was in the back of his Pope mobile. That is his best mate. They had 10 boxes of pizzas in the back of the Pope mobile. People were just handing the Pope pizza. That sounds like your fucking dream job.
How do you run for Pope?
Run for Pope? I have no idea. They're all pretty old, so God knows.
I can speak to our local window place and maybe get like a conservatory on the back of the car.
Yeah.
And I can maybe drive past Domino's every day, and they might.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, Mike's met the Pope. Fucking good on you, mate.
Well done.
Bloody hell. I just saw that and I was like, hang on. Did I read? I read that 3 times thinking I read it wrong. Yeah, well, you got Big D Vapes in I can slave wait.
Evening, Danny.
Slow it. Danny
at Big D.
Oh, do you know what? I didn't even know that was his name. I'm rubbish with names. I call everyone mate. Just makes life easier. I'm so dim. So sorry about that. Sorry for going off track. But I always say try and support your local vape shops. But the problem that you've got is try and do a vape shop, not like a mobile phone shop with a vape shop in the back that people have no idea what's going on.
It's got to be a dedicated shop. Some of those businesses are their lifeblood. It is what keeps them at home, with food in the cupboards, with kids on the clothes backs, petrol in the car. That is their life. And it might be a £5, £6, £7 purchase for you, a £20 purchase. It means a whole lot to those guys, because that is literally straight profit on their turnover. Job done.
Yeah, it's like we had a vape shop when I moved here, and I can't remember what it was called. And I thought, I'll go and have a look. As I walked in, there was like leather chairs and tables. I was like, this looks a bit swanky. Looked behind the bar, and it was just all disposables, 1 smock tank, 3 bottles of Donut King, and 1 packet of cotton. And I was like,
wow.
That's it. He goes, we used to do building in here, everything. Now everybody wants disposables. He said, that packet of cotton's been up there for 2 years. No one's bought it. No one's bought the liquids.
That's
And there must have been hundreds of disposables, and people were in and out. I'll have 4 of them, 2 of them, and then they'll be out again.
But a good vape shop would look at the fact that you buy a disposable and it costs you this much and it sells for that much. And yes, people will come in and they will ask for it. So there is an instant turnover of stock, of stuff like that. But a decent vape shop would say, well, hang on a minute. In their head, if I sell a 10ml bottle of juice, 50/50, or a Nick Salt, and a device that is going to give them a longer period of time, they can change the coils in it, which means they're going to come back to me for the coils. I can sell them a bottle of juice, which means they're going to come back to me for the juice when that runs out. So it's the repeat business side. And yes, it might cost them an extra sort of £4 or £5, but if you outweigh it then against what a disposable costs you every day, maybe 2 or 3 or whatever, it's going to pay for itself. A smart vape shop would do that, as opposed to fill their shop with disposables, because there's more profit in doing that. And the repeatability, because they're not going to pick a disposable up from you. Because if they're at the corner shop, or if they're out at Tesco's, or if they're out in Somerset, they'll pick one up from there. But if you've got a specific range and they like you, they'll travel to you. Yeah,
I was saying it to him, and it was like, everybody we get in here smokes, but buys them for when they go to the pub.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, I can't believe it when I drive past the pub of a morning, because sometimes I leave here really early and it's like fucking rainbow on the floor, just multicolored sticks everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's fucking upsetting because A, it gives us a bad name. B,
Yeah.
I'm not a tree hugger in any way, shape, or form. But
No,
fuck
not
me,
me.
you need to dispose of them properly. I'm not
Yes.
saying just I say you should throw them in the bin, but like fucking at least put them in the bin at the very, very least.
Dispose of it properly.
Yeah,
At the very least. But it's not. It is that,
yeah.
you know,
Throwaway market.
how far can I get that one?
Yeah,
You know.
it's really bad, and I do think that I think vape shops and corner shops need to have something in place for disposing of them. Because I take my 18650s to Asda because they've got a battery bin, so I just tape it all up and just chuck them in. So they're good to go. But I did vape disposables for 4 months in the car because I don't like blowing big cows in the car. And like disposable and wholesale was like 65p each.
Yeah.
So I just bought a box of 10. I thought, oh, that should do me. And they do work. They have their place and they work for me in the car. But he was trying to freaking dispose of them. I went to the battery place. It was like, you can't put that in there.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's
there's a
got liquid
battery in there. So I know you have to pull it apart. And I was like, no one's going to bloody do that. So where do they end up? In the drain or in the bin or on the floor.
Yeah.
So I always come up with a thing of vape shops to go, if you've got a disposable and it's done, bring it to us and we'll give you a discount on your next one.
Makes sense. They cost this much, take it away, but if you bring it back to me, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's a good idea.
Or even then gain that trust with that customer doing that, but then at the same time try and talk them away from it onto an actual device and a bottle of liquid.
Yeah. Because
You know?
I couldn't believe the amount of wastage. Because they came in this big cardboard box. Oh, cool, the little boxes. Opened the cardboard box, had a big sheet of like A4 paper folded up into it. Then there's the foil and plastic container. So you unwrap that. And then there's the 2 silicone things in there. It's like, fuck me, the amount of waste for this thing. It's ridiculous. Oh, I need to give Mike a spanner because Mike's going to drop the link for the Pope video.
No way.
So we all need to watch the video of Mike with the Pope. So give us 2 seconds. I will give Mike a spanner. Mike is now a moderator. So, right, let's get rid of this. And we're back. Sorry. Yeah. Mike, you're a spanner now, so you can kick people out whenever you want. I love giving people spanners.
But no, I'm of the same opinion that disposables have a place, but they need to be sold correctly, from the correct placing, from the correct place to the right people, and not as easily obtained that like they are. We've got a guy that is one of our customers. He uses a wholesaler fairly close to us for other ranges of products. And he went in there the other day and they've got just a complete wall of pallets of disposables. One of them was that big, that round, contained 20 mil of liquid, all liveried up with SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward. And do you remember the little pens that you used to tilt and the bikini would come off the woman?
Yeah.
Or there'd be like a little ship inside.
Yeah.
There's a little plastic SpongeBob in the top bit. So as you tilted the liquid, there's a little plastic thing. Who's that marketed at?
Fucking hell.
Why are you selling it? He said to the guy. Because people buy it. You know, it's that side of the market that is doing the wrong. It's not your proper vape shop. If they want to sell them, but sell them to the right people. Get them from the right places. Make sure that they're compliant. Don't sell. I've looked on Instagram tonight while I was waiting to come on here, just flicking through. Health Bar BC 5000. Loads of people showing it. up to 5,000 puffs. It's really great. They don't talk about what millage liquid is in that. You're not going to get
Most of
5,000
them don't
puffs out of
fucking
2
know.
mil.
No.
You're not going to get 5,000 puffs out of 2 mil. That product has to be non-compliant. But there's people on Instagram. It's really good, but they're not talking how much liquid's in it because they know that they can't.
Yeah.
But they're showing it. Stop it, please.
There's one that popped up yesterday. Disposables, but it had wrestlers on it.
Yeah.
They're
becoming collectible items. There's a couple of kids that I know, and they actually collect. Like we used to collect Panini stickers and football cards, and even
Pogs
back in my day, it was cigarette cards.
Yeah.
Americans had baseball players, and all of those.
Yeah.
The kids these days are collecting disposables. I've got to have every single color Elf bar. I've got to have every single color, this one or that Geek bar. I've got to have them because they then it's ridiculous. That's all it is. That's why they're going in and getting them.
Go and have a good sleep, Mike. Great to thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
But I can't believe the way that they had the minion one, didn't they? It was in the shape of a minion.
Yeah.
There's this was my argument because I'd done a little bit of written reviewing for about 6 months, and they sent me through a pod system from Hugo Vapor, and it was a little like orangey yellow pen, but on the side was like graffitied headphones. Tape player, so it was aimed at like 14, 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I emailed the guy who sent it out to me. I was like, mate, do you want me to be honest? Because I'm going to tear him a new one. And they were like, I'd be as honest as you want. And I was like, look, it's not a good device anyway. I filled it full of liquid. I put it on the side and it just pissed all my liquid out. All the seals were broken on it anyway. And it was marketed to kids. If I show it's out in the garage, if I showed you, you'd be like, "What?" And you're just like, "How has this got from like paper to production without someone going, hang on a sec?
Yeah.
Do you think this is a good idea?" What adult would have it with like a pair of trainers, headphones, CD players, and wham bam and all that lot? You're like, no, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, because the person that brought it into the country wasn't looking at it as a smoking cessation device that contains nicotine, that it was TPD compliant, that it was that. They were looking at it as, I can get this in for this price and I can sell it for that price. And that's all that is. And there's too much of that going on. I can buy them at this price and I can sell them at that price. And if I've got to put these ones under the counter, I'll put these ones under the counter. It's not the vape shops.
Yeah.
It's not the vape shop, because again, that is their livelihood. That is what pays their bills. If they get shut down, they've lost it. But if it's a corner shop, convenience store, or wherever else that has a range of other products, if they get that taken off them, they'll still carry on selling their bread and their beans and their magazines and their milk and phone top-ups. A vape shop, if they get shut down, that's it. They're gone. So it's not the vape shops. It's the other side of the industry that it's too easy to get on.
It's horrendous, though. Some of the shit you've seen on the side of that, what they're putting on mods. So I saw one that it was like a gorilla with a pair of headphones on and glasses. And you're like, I don't understand. And on the other side, it was like synthetic crocodile skin. You might know the one I'm talking about. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. But you're looking at
I think so, yeah.
And you're looking at it going, if you would have put the crocodile on both sides, I could pretty much understand it.
Yeah.
But you're like, why have I got a gorilla with headphones and glasses?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. It's not even the same. It's not even in like the same color contrast as the rest of it.
It's not about making things sterile and boring and grey and bland. It's having an element of artistic license, because that's what sells your product. You've got to have that marketing image. You've got to have that. I like that. I want that. But don't go overboard and make the industry a a laughing stock
Yeah,
through no fault of the genuine industry.
it's ridiculous because say like something like that, and it was a big brand, and they probably sold a lot. They wouldn't have sold as much as, say, for instance, I've just picked it up the Odin 250C. I know it's
Yeah.
two different devices. That sold fuck tons. My serial number is 200002. So it's an old. It is old, but that is just black. You can
Yeah.
get it in red, any other color you want, but it doesn't have fucking cartoons on it.
No, exactly. Fairly plain and simple. I haven't got a serial number. Oh, I have. Medinchina. That's my serial number. Medinchina. But it is, we don't need to have, like you say, those SpongeBob images and stuff on that. No vapor would buy that.
No, and then do you remember the Foosh? The Foosh,
Yeah.
the light up. Well, it wasn't a mech,
Yeah.
but it was the
Yeah.
regulated mech type thing.
Yeah, with the LEDs and
It's,
stuff like that. Yeah.
that obviously
So
wasn't targeted.
Half of your battery power is going on making it look all right.
I would use it as a giggle at home with the missus, just put on some music, just like old school raving.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, not like that. No. A bit of old school raving.
I wondered what plane we were getting off on then, but
Phil's saying regulated dildo mech. But like it's not. It was clearly marketed at a younger market because you don't go out and buy stuff because it's covered in lights. I did when I was a kid. I had the shoes with the light ups.
Yeah.
You know, you know where I'm going with it. It's sort of going down that sort of route.
It's exactly it's that sort of what sort of age would you say? 17, 18 to sort of early 20s. That there's a niche demographic market that they will go for anything that's trendy, light up, flashy, bright colours, garish, because that's it's what's on trend. It's trendy, and
Wear around your
that's
neck
where
on
I
a
think,
chain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that literally is. That's where they're seeing those sorts of disposables. I've got to have that because my mate's got one.
Yeah.
I've got to hide it from my mum, obviously, but I've got to have it because then when I'm at school, I'm as cool as him.
I'm seeing a lot more kids.
Yeah, it's
but
ridiculous.
At the same time, I started smoking really young, so I prefer kids if they were smoking to then vape. So it's less harmful than smoking, but at the same time, they're being sold these disposables by people that don't understand the nick strength.
No.
Oh, it's 2%. It ain't got a lot in it. Really?
Yeah. What do you think they put it as 2% and not 20 milligram? Because you think 2% means 2%. Oh, it's only a low amount. 20 milligram. Yeah. What's 20 milligram? Yeah, it's about equivalent to what, a packet and a half of fags.
Yeah. It is scary, and I think that's the side of things that we as a country need to get hold of. Because I know
there needs to be a they have their place. I'm not saying that they don't have their place. They have their place, but there needs to be more control in how they're bought in and how they're sold. And if there can't be, then there's going to be a big backlash. Because if somebody gets hold of a 50 milligram one and they suddenly have some sort of issue, and it'll be, I didn't know.
Varley again, wouldn't it?
It'll be all over the news. It'll be the vape shops that get it first, because people go, vaping device, we'll go and speak to the vape shops. It's not the vape shops, it's elsewhere.
Yeah, it's the local cost cutters.
Yeah.
Simon, you got it right. I couldn't remember what it was called. The Torch RTA, the Digiflavor one that lit up. Everyone was getting that and the Foosh.
Yes.
Oh, cheers, Simon. I was racking my brain for that. But yeah, no, I know that there's shops that haven't got a clue. Like I went in one because I normally get my bottles of Nick. I buy them in like 10 packs, Just because when I get my wire, I get it on wholesale as well, so it works out a couple of quid
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah.
So I didn't have any, and I went and shot myself just 80 milligram Nick shots. He gave me a Nick Salt one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to put it in. I was like, oh shit. I went back. It was like, that's Nick's. It was like, no difference. I was like, there is a fucking difference, mate. It was like, you opened it. I'm not taking a refund. And he charged me £3 for it, which was a hell of a lot more than what I paid for my ones. Yeah, I ended up just binning it. It was like, fuck me, if he doesn't know this, and he was telling me, people just buy these and put them in their vapes. It was like, people are putting in just Nick because they don't understand.
No, they don't. They don't. But that person won't research why you've said that to him. They'll just continue to sell it because it's $3.99. That's all it is. It's a price and it goes in the till. End of.
Yeah, it's quick money for
no
them.
question. That's all it is at the end of the day. All it is, and that's where we get a lot of. I think the only time we get from the liquid side any general issues of this doesn't quite taste right. 90% of the time when we ask the question, okay, so what Nick shot have you used in it? If it's a genuine Nick shot, it's from one of the companies that we know make nicotine shots.
Yeah.
Okay, it might have been a 50-50 Nick shot. We always tend to recommend this Nick shot, but it's a genuine Nick shot. Oh yeah, I put some, because I bought a Boulevard, I bought some 20 milligram Boulevard Nick Salt. I put that in. But that's not a Nick shot. Well, I know, but it says Boulevard on there, and I've got a big bottle of Boulevard, so I thought that was a Nick shot. The guy in the shop told me that that's a Nick shot. How much did he charge you for that Nick shot? Oh, it was $4.99.
Bloody hell!
And it tastes really weird. Well, it will do because that's flavored Nick shot you've put in it. It's the same flavor, but it's going to change what we designed it to taste like with a plain unflavored Nick shot.
So that's when I think a bit more regulation needs to come in.
I think it's education. I think it's too easy to get hold of it.
But I think that regulation will force education, though.
Yeah.
Because if you're regulated and the shops are regulated, so say like your local cost cutter wants to provide it, they've got to be regulated. And to do that, you need to educate yourself on what you're getting.
There was talk ages and ages ago about it all going down to almost like a pharmaceutical license.
Yeah.
That if you wanted to sell vaping products that contain nicotine, that you had to then apply for a pharmaceutical license because it is a regulated medicine to an extent.
You can understand why.
I can understand why, but they would then charge you huge amounts for your pharmaceutical license, which would be out of the reach of your local vape shop that just wants to set up a shop to stop people smoking and make a bit of dough on the side.
Yeah. It's we're in a really weird situation because a lot of people I talk to is obviously like Vaping Jedi and all the American lot from them shows and the coil building shows, and you hear about their issues, and then I feel like I can't really talk about the UK issues because our issues are like what they would class as a dream.
Yeah. They've had it hard. It's just ridiculous. It really is. But again, I think that's again a lot from their government being uneducated.
Oh, massively,
because they've just gone a big brush of tar. We're just going to do that and scrape that bit off, and we'll let that company or that product through. Why are we letting that product through? Because they've just given us this amount of money in our bank, Mr. President.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah. So I do think our issues are. I would definitely not call them trivial, but trivial compared to around the world. Like, is it New Zealand that have banned mechanicals?
Yes, I think they have. Yeah.
Because the vaping fossil has done. I don't know if you managed to get anything from there because they shipped to the UK. They were selling mechanicals were like £400 down to like £90.
Where?
Just trying to get rid of the stock, all the old vicious hand stuff.
Break even and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's areas of the world that we've looked to supply into as a company, but their hoops are many, and by the time you've gone through that hoop, they're only in theory wanting to. We might get a call from a vape shop in. I'll take Greece for instance. We've got a vape shop in Greece as a distributor, and we do a bespoke product for them, which is a long fill. So it's an element of the concentrate plus a little bit of PG.
You just add your VG to it.
Yeah, and they add the VG because VG is heavily taxed for the vapors, the vaping wholesalers, but not for the retail person.
It's the same as Germany.
Yes.
Germany's
So we make that product for them.
Yeah.
But in order for them to get it into Greece, they can't just directly import it into Greece. We have to then ship it to Bulgaria, and then it has to go from Bulgaria into Greece, because going from Britain into Greece, there's a huge amount of tax, red tape, paperwork, export, import, customs that then cost them an absolute fortune. But because we're shipping it to Bulgaria, which is different, and then there's none of that tax. Then if it goes from an EU country to an EU country, they eventually get it at the right price that they can then sell it as a right price in their market.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's literally, and it changes every time they put an order in. There's a new regulation that we then have to change, and it might even be a label. So we might have to then scrap all of their original labels and redo a label just with this new regulation on, or a change in logo, or make the logo bigger, because that's what's happened over the last couple of months since they placed their last order.
Bloody, because I received a liquid from one of my customers. It ended up being a really good friend of mine, Tobias. He sent me some liquids from Germany. He was like, I'll send you some to try. And I opened it and was like, fuck, I've lost like 90% of this liquid. So I opened it and I was like, hang on, it's not open. So I messaged him. I was like, what's going on? He's like, oh, you need to add your VG to it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah. And I spoke to him, I think it was last week. He was saying, yeah, if you buy a VG from the vape shop, it's like 90% more expensive than if you go to the local shop, and it's like €3 rather than 33 euros.
Yeah, they heavily tax the vape industry on VG.
They've just put up all the taxes, more taxes on the vaping, he was saying. So it's going to be even more prices. So poor man is like, he's got like an apocalypse bunker just full of vape shit. It shows you we're so lucky we don't have to do that at the moment. Touch wood, it doesn't go the other way, which I don't believe it will.
No.
There's me saying that to talk about bad branding, and I've got a smiley face on my. I keep seeing it at the corner of my eye. But bloody hell, we've been going for 2 hours.
Wow. Told you I rattled.
Oh, so do I. So, oh shit! I've just kicked my bottle over. I told you I was clumsy. Right, so we'll end it, because obviously you've got shit to do. I think everyone else is getting a numb ass.
Sorry.
And it's 11:30, so you probably got things to do. You send your family upstairs, so you locked them in the bedroom.
They're all up there. I've got to let the dogs out for wheeze and stuff now. They'll just come bowling straight through here.
But before we go, I just want to say a massive thank you for sending me out those liquids. And,
pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Coming on the show.
Again, pleasure.
Make sure you shout your shit. So where can we find you? Where can we buy all your stuff?
The easiest way to buy it is we make it. We are Whitlicker. So it's www.whitlicker.com. It's on the website, and you can purchase it from there. If you want to give me a quick follow on Instagram, that's beautiful as well. It's Serendipity Liquid on Instagram. It's the same on Facebook. And anything you like, just give us a share, give us a like, make a comment. If you try the liquids, I'll answer you back. It's all about that little rapport and interaction that we love. But if you've tried it and you love it, let me know. That's all I ask. If you tried it and you don't like it, let me know.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy. Yeah, it's the only way you can move forward if you know what's maybe not quite right.
Yeah.
But thank you to everyone that has.
Good. Well, you know where to find me. It's all rolling across the bottom. So it saves me having to shout because I always forget shit. But again, before we go, make sure. My mouse has died. Hang on. Welcome to the shit show. Before we go, make sure tomorrow night head over to Savage Simon 62, and tomorrow at 8:30 is his next show. It is not another vape channel. I probably got that wrong, so I apologise if that's not the person that you've got on. But if it's not, you're going to have to get them on because I've shouted them
You'll
out.
find out tomorrow night. Tune in at 8:30. You'll find out.
But a big thank you to Black Rose Elixir and the Vaping Hut for being a sponsor of the show, and Shake and Bake Media. And until next week, I'm going on Northern Union. Fuck me, Sloan. Get the words right. I'm going on the Northern Union Vape Show on Sunday. So if you want to catch my ugly mug, head over to the Benny Vapes channel and catch me on there on Sunday. Okay? So until next time, be nice to each other. Don't be a cunt. See you later. Bye.
See you later.